I can remember stories, those things my mother said. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of happy endings, then tucked me in real tight. She turned my nightlight on and kissed my face goodnight. My mind would fill with visions of perfect paradise. She told me everything. She said he'd be so nice. He'd ride up on his horse, take me away one night. I'd be so happy with him. We'd rain clean out of sight. The story ends as stories do. Reality steps into you. Hey,
I don't know what was that, sis?
It was Anita. You didn't see us away.
Well, the thing is about Anita Baker is you were enunciating. So
oh, you're right.
I love my mama Anita Baker. Yeah, I was a lot more slurring. We're gonna need a lot more of words just flowing into one another. Because I'm of the belief that one can actually sing an entire Anita Baker song without closing their mouth. I have done this before. Let me give you a brief example.
Yes.
With all I love, they will, and you will see my love. We'll hold the way. I believe that
my lips hurt.
I feel no shame. I did not close my mouth.
Yes, not close her mouth once.
Because you can sing, and everyone knew what I was. You know what I'm saying? We love you, Anita. We speak your name.
We do,
you are
Auntie.
a legion.
Yes, I do. You are always allowed to bring the potato salad.
Yes, and I know. I just feel like Anita Baker got a whole suitcase full of golden hot flat irons.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Marcel's.
Listen,
Marcel's.
And all of the, like, they probably like half broken. The handles is falling off.
She's got the big, like, what is the thing called? The big iron thing you stick them in. You make it real hot.
The iron. That's right. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
The
I thought they were the
clack.
irons. The flat irons.
Martha, or the stove is what it's called.
Stove.
I think. Right, the stove. Yeah. But yeah, man. Anita Baker. It's a perfect day for Anita Baker. It's overcast and cloudy.
That's it. And this fairy tales just resonated with me just on today.
There's no only in this world. You need Anita Baker song.
She was yawning.
She's like a long yawner. I just love you, Anita. And I have, listen, my Anita Baker catalog is, ooh, you all right, sis? You want to drink some water or something? My gosh. You have not even greeted the people. Praise the Lord, niggas. How y'all doing? Yes, sis. I don't want you to die over there.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Woo. All right, I'm strong. What's up?
Man, you know, it's out. It's just Monday night. You know what I'm saying? It's been raining. It's storming. And, you know, it's time to go to bed. But we got to record this show, so we out here. You know what I'm saying? We do what we got to do when we popping.
We like Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing you black treats. Cold.
Yes, honey. We just work through the night so that y'all can have an episode. And we're happy to do it. So thank you for listening.
We're very happy to be here.
Welcome. Welcome one. Welcome me. Welcome you. Welcome everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome me. Welcome you to episode 13 of Getting Grown with Jade and Keia.
You know, I never know the numbers anymore. I'm just like, what? We're always on episode 12 now.
Yeah, it's because you just want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's
11,
that's why.
12.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. So yeah, it's another episode. We're happy to be back. Thank you guys for listening. Shout out to everyone who sent us emails and gave us such great feedback on last week's show. I had a good time reading your emails and your tweets. Thank you guys for listening and everything like that right there. And we'll be back to do it again
in another week. Before we get into the show, we would be remiss if we did not send our condolences to the family of Charlene Lyles.
Indeed.
If you don't know who Charlene Lyles is,
right.
She is a 30-year-old woman out of Seattle who was pregnant and called the police and had a knife in her hand. And when they showed up, they shot her. She was a very petite woman. And there's never any excuse for you to just pull your gun out. Her sister actually said, why couldn't they have tased her? Which is really, really heartbreaking.
You know, it's just not only like it's heartbreaking, it's like mind numbing as well, because you just like, it seems like these kinds of things continue to happen over and over again. Especially since, you know, my mom lives in Tennessee. And I was speaking to my grandmother last week and she was telling me about 2 white gentlemen who, escaped from prison in Georgia and, you know, somehow, some way made it all the way to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where they were, arrested. I saw photos. I looked it up online. It seems like they were, arrested in a park. They were shirtless, covered in tattoos. Not saying that is, you know, in any way in threatening or incriminating, but just to give you just to kind of, you know, paint the picture for you. 2 white men known for, like, they were known runaways from jail. Like, the police knew who they were and identified them as such. These men were captured. They were not tased. They were not shot. They were not, you know, they were basically taken in, you know, the police did nothing to, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, to, they were just arrested, right? They saw these men in the park, they chased them, and they were able to arrest them without harming them.
Convicts.
I mean, they were convicts, but I was thinking, like, how do the police, like, get you? Like, when they see you? I don't know. It's almost midnight. My brain's not working.
I watched a lot of I Almost Got Away with It, so I kind of know how they do it.
The police did not harm them in capturing them, is what I'm trying to say. And then you have a woman who suspected that her home was being burglarized. So I'm sure that she armed herself to protect herself and her children and called the police for help. And I saw an article on Twitter today that was reposted that said, you know, the police came to the door and actually promised her that they would not shoot her so that she would let them in, and then proceeded to go in the house and shoot her. So I don't know. It just made me sick to my stomach. I'm praying for her family, her children especially. It's just another senseless life lost, another Black woman. And I mean, I was talking about it earlier today on Twitter, how it's just like really, really disheartening and sad to be a Black woman in this world and to just see these kinds of things and think, like, you know, question like your value, your worth, you know, like, you know, are you worthy of being protected? And you do what you've been instructed to do when you think that there is something going wrong. Like, she called the police and armed herself to protect herself and her children.
Right. What any person would do.
What any one of us would have done. So, I mean, I don't know what much else there is to say in response to these kinds of things that can seem to be happening on a very consistent basis in this country.
Oh, because it's just a constant between this and then the, you know, there was no conviction for the officer who shot Philando Castile.
Right.
You know, it's just evidence. And like you said, it's mind numbing at this point. It's just evidence constantly of how the system is not set up for Black people and how the system does not care about Black people. And, you know, the white people who are out there saying that all we do is focus on racism and focus on the negative of what's happening. Like, you all are willfully ignorant, and you're just as bad as the people who are calling us niggers in our faces, because there's constant evidence every single day that Black people don't matter in this country. And it's disgusting at this point. And I really don't have anything else to say about it. It's just heartbreaking, and it's infuriating, and it's numbing at this point.
Totally. So we just wanted to just say her name, Charlene Allows, and say that we will continue to honor her memory, and much prayers to her family. Also want to, I mean, I know that there are other examples of these kinds of heinous acts happening in the world right now. But, you know, another one that was brought to my attention today was the murder of 17-year-old Nabra Hassanin of Reston, Virginia, who was leaving IHOP with a group of her friends and headed back to the mosque, you know, during Ramadan to, you know, participate in the fast. And they were approached by a person and chased, and Nabra was, you know, I don't know, I guess it's not clear as to entirely what happened to her, but the other 4 of her friends made it back to the mosque, and she was left behind. And shortly thereafter, her remains were found in a nearby pond. So sad, so tragic. This young Muslim woman, you know, completely, her life ended in such a hateful and tragic way. So I absolutely wanted to, you know, like Charlena, to the family of Charlena, extend my condolences, my prayers, my thoughts to Nabra's family, Nabra's friends, anyone affected and impacted by this heinous hate crime. And although the police are not investigating it as a hate crime, I just can't help but call a thing a thing. I just
Virginia police are not labeling this as a hate crime? Are you serious?
Exactly. So I just absolutely would wanted to acknowledge the lives of these 2 very important women and say that, you know, Jade and I, we just wanted to speak their names and say that we are standing with their families in their honor.
And that's really all we can do, is stand with the families. We can't, you know, there's no faith in the system at this point, but we have to support each other. And so those families are going through it right now. So we definitely offer our deepest condolences, our prayers, and our thoughts.
My sister's popping right now, like.
Graduation announcements.
Hey, my sister's popping right now. Shout out to Hennessy.
That's right. My sister. We don't have that many to get through. Once again, graduation season is starting to wrap up. And remember, we will be reading announcements through the end of June. So make sure you get your shout outs in. And then we're going to go back to our regular shout out to my sis, where we're shouting out various businesses, independent Black owned businesses. So,
and people that are just doing popping things.
Yeah, people who are doing popping things in general. But as we are still in graduation season, let's go ahead and get into it. Sissy, you want to read the first one?
Sure thing. Our first email reads, "Hey, Jade and Keia, I absolutely love y'all's show. Thanks, sis. I wanted to shout myself out this week. Last week, I passed my analytical chemistry comprehensive exam on my 3rd attempt. I had to send this in because while I was studying for my comp, I heard Keia tell her story about her comp. While I'm crawling towards candidacy, I had to celebrate this mini milestone. Thank you, guys. Sade, sorry, girl. Sade Atoyabi?
Yep.
Yeah. Sade Atoyabi. Sorry, sis. But many congratulations on your comp exams. I'm very, very proud of you And listen, any step towards candidacy is a step in the right direction. So don't judge the step no matter what size it is. This is a big one though.
That's right.
So yeah, man, do what you got to do. The next step is a proposal, right? Do that.
Yes, my sister's popping. Our next one comes from Edwin Guerra. Dear Jade, queen of putting people in their place. Guerra. Dear Jade, queen of putting people in their place and my inner ghetto spirit animal. And Keia, the queen of petty brains and beauty.
Well,
I want to give a shout out to myself, my best friend, and every 2017 college graduate. We've worked our asses off to get degrees. I have attached a picture of myself graduating in my lovely formation cap.
Do it.
It's lit. I have graduated with a bachelor's in mathematics and ready to bless my future students as a high school math teacher.
Awesome.
I love hearing your podcast every Tuesday and hearing you hollering and being yourselves. I already recommended your podcast to my friends. It's refreshing to hear you guys offer advice to listeners in their 20s. I'm learning to be okay with not knowing everything and making mistakes that is a part of learning and growing. You make me feel great and help me become non-apologetic for being my bougie, petty, funny, and crazy self. You guys are the best. Love y'all. Sincerely, Edwin.
Aww.
Thank you, Edwin, and congratulations. And let me tell you all about this cap. First, Edwin has Beyonce on his graduation cap.
Like, prominently featured.
Like, come on, ladies.
Let's get in formation, okay?
Shout out to you, Edwin, and thank you for the plug. Thank you for shouting us out. You guys' constant support always means the world to us.
We really appreciate it. Thank you, Edwin. The next email says, hey, Jade and Keia, first let me say y'all are everything. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad you two decided to share your Black girl magic with us. The openness and candor with which the two of you share your ripeness is awe-inspiring. You two...
We're bananas.
Exactly. You two touch a special place in my heart every week and are my good friends in my head. I want to give a shout out to my sisters, both my blessed sister Kayla, who graduated with her undergraduate degree in communications and marketing with a certificate in public relations, as well as my chosen sister, Jaleesa, or Lisa for short. She has struggled to achieve her goal of becoming an LPN with working full-time and a 2-year-old son, all while dealing with losing her sister to leukemia. I'm so proud of both of them. Although it was hard, they both made it through. They make my little nigga heart proud. P.S. I have included pictures of both, including a picture of my sister Kayla and her brother Ryan. He is trash no more. Oh my goodness, Ashley, thank you so much for the email, and major shout outs to both Kayla and Jaleesa. Jaleesa, you did that. Kayla, you did that. Jaleesa especially, though, because overcoming a loss, especially of a sibling, I can definitely relate to that. So I really just want to send my congratulations, heartfelt congratulations.
And condolences.
To both of you. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And shout out to all the 3 non-trash Ryans out there in the world.
Yes, all 3 of you.
Our next one says, first of all, I love the show. After 7 years of being out of undergrad, I decided to go back and get my MBA in Human Resource Management after long days and nights working full-time and taking classes. I had no life. I finally went back and finished in December 2016. I will be walking across the stage June 24th, 2017 in Detroit, Michigan.
Hey.
Glad it's over, but still praying that God will bless me with a better job opportunity. Hashtag team type it fast. Hashtag no wrinkled regalia. Alicia T. Settles. Congratulations, Alicia.
Awesome.
Alicia? I don't know.
Hopefully we're saying it right, sis. But congratulations, that MBA in Human Resources Management. That's no bull swanky.
And going back to school.
After 7 years. That's what's up.
Also no bull swanky.
Right?
And no bullshit.
Hello, first cousins Jade and Keia. Well, hey, my name is Angelica Augusto from Burlington, North Carolina. I want to thank you for being my adopted first cousins. Yes, we family. LOL.
All right.
Okay, girl, we get it. I would like to shout out my little cousin, Jaquil Wright. He is a 2017 graduate of Howard University, majoring in sports medicine. He is off to Rutgers University to obtain his master's. He has also landed a job just 3 weeks after graduating. I am so proud of him and the man that he is becoming. I pray that God continues to bless him. I have also attached pictures of my handsome cousin. Shout out to you, Jaquil.
All right, Jaquil.
Oh, sorry. There's another. And last but certainly not least, I would like to shout out my middle niece, Samaya McFarland. Samaya is a 2017 8th grade graduate. She loves basketball and wants to play in the WNBA.
Yes.
I am so proud of her and her goals. She is working hard and striving to obtain a full ride at her dream school, North Carolina A&T. I pray that God continues to bless her and continue to guide her in the right direction. Here's a picture of my lovely niece. Thank you again for this lovely podcast, and may God continue to bless you more and more. Oh, Samaya, you're cute.
Cute. She is a cutie.
Congratulations to what's his name, Jaquil and Samaya. Shout out to y'all. This is awesome, and thanks for writing in, Angelica. We appreciate you,
Angelica Pickles. Praise the Lord, niggas. Hi, J and K.
All right, you better hyphenate.
Elemental P. I love the show and thank you for all your life, laughter, and love. It's a little late or whatever, but I want to give a shout out to all the 2017 graduates and all of the graduates ever from Albany State University. You all are amazing and this alumni is proud of you. Never forget the words of Gwynetta L. Trice.
Oh, boy.
If it's strong enough, we built it. If it's tough enough, we created it. If it's an institution of higher learning built on a legacy to succeed, it's none other than the unsinkable Albany State University, home of the mighty Golden Rams. That's a really long quote. Thank you for everything the two of you do. Love you ladies so much. Chanel. Thank you for writing in, Chanel, and putting us on to Auntie Gwynetta.
You better shout out this entire school.
Right? She's like,
up.
Not one person, everybody. Let's be clear.
Ain't nobody mad.
No,
ain't nobody mad. Thanks for writing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sister cousins, Jade and Keia. First off, thank you for answering the call and putting together this podcast. You are so stupid. I'm sorry. Jade is childish.
I am.
Sorry. Okay, I have to focus. I get my life every week through each segment and always end up crying at some point. Don't cry, girl.
Please.
I even have to hit the yes with the stank face at many of the valid nuggets of wisdom shared. My name is Keidra, and I want to shout out my queen boos, Sharika, Riri, and Almatrice, Allie. We check in with each other constantly, speak positively toward each other almost daily, and link up every chance we get.
I love it.
I'm the oldest of the group and the only 30-something, but I glean something new from each time we speak. We are all at different places in our lives. I find peace knowing that I can shoot a text or get on Marco Polo and be uplifted by one or both of them. When I unexpectedly got laid off from my job of 5 years on December 1st last year, they dropped everything that weekend and drove over an hour to spend the weekend with me and my son. We stayed up and ate pizza and drank wine and watched all the house parties before passing out like the seasoned women we are at 11 p.m. These ladies mean the world to me, and I love them as if they were my actual sisters. Thank you so much, Riri and Allie, for welcoming me into your family bond. Your new sister cousin, Keidra. Thanks for sending that shout out, Keidra. That was so cute.
Super cute. House parties. I love it.
I love it as well.
Praise the Lord, niggas. My name is Austin from Cleveland, Ohio. Just have to say, Jade and Keia, you two feel like my favorite big cousins that I can't wait to cut up with at every family function.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do, actually. I know I'm late, but hopefully you guys are still doing announcements. I just want to give a graduation shout out to my cousin Raina, who just graduated from
Chaminade
Madonna College Prep School in Fort Lauderdale. She's a member of NHS, a member of the Florida Girls Choir, and graduated with honors and is going to Hampton University this fall and is already in their honors program. Of course, before she goes, I'm going to warn her of men named Ryan. I was friends with a Ryan and it's all true. And look out for anyone who might try to waste her time. I was 11 years old when she was born and she is more than a cousin to me. She's the best little sister that anyone could ask for. Love you much, Austin, and love you too for this podcast. You guys are everything. You're everything for these posed photos.
Yay.
Show
Come
us.
on.
Wait a minute. Who is this? This is your home group. Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry. Austin, thank you for writing in.
Austin and Raina.
Thank you, Austin, and thank you for sending us pictures of Raina. She's super cute.
Adorable in her cap and gown.
Right? Congratulations, Raina.
Indeed.
Don't mind me. I'm just always, yeah.
And I don't know. The show, do people think the show is just for 20-somethings? I don't think that I don't think it's
No.
for 20-somethings. I don't know.
No, not at all.
I'm just old. I won't speak for Jade. And I don't want it to be like we're always giving advice either, because you guys teach me stuff too. I don't know everything. Anyway, any schnoo. Hey, Sister Jade and Sister Keia. I'm Ashley. Hey, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to shout myself out this week. I received a bachelor's in psychology back in December of 2016 with a 3.77 GPA while battling lupus. After 6 long months of job searching, I finally got a job with benefits. I will be working as a foster care manager for the state of Michigan. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous about this job because I don't want to fail these kids. So please pray for me and send me some good vibes. Thanks, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. Congratulations to you on not only getting your degree, but landing this job, especially while dealing with something like lupus, which is like,
yes,
no bull swanking, right?
Right.
But you're doing it, and I'm proud of you. So congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Absolutely. And you gonna do all right.
You're not going to fail these kids.
No, we're going to put some good juju out there for you. All right. Good day, Jade and Keia.
Good day.
I live. It would be my honor.
Oh, my Lord. Why are you laughing?
Because it's so formal. I feel like I'm being invited to like a knighting. It would be my honor to nominate the following 3 inductees into the National Honor Society of Team Type and Fast with all the rights and privileges bestowed. Mm-hmm. My little sister Nadine Copper graduated from Shippensburg University with her bachelor's degree of arts concentrated in history. Mm-hmm. My little sister Kelsey Chambers graduated with her bachelor's degree of applied science with a concentration in occupational therapy. Right. And lastly, little cousin Kiana Green graduated from Lincoln University with her bachelor's degree of science in nursing. All 3 are the wrinkleless robed, honor cord bearing, and press and curl bundle or hijab slang meaning of black girl magic and should be observed as such. Indeed. Please accept this nomination in its highest regard with...
You are ruining this. Read it. Oh my gosh.
With reassurance of its integrity and good faith that these women will push the culture forward, stay black, and protect their magic.
Shout out to you, Tay.
Warmest regards, Cheryl West.
Cheryl, you did that, sis.
You sure did.
And I offer motion that we accept these 3 women into the National Honor Society of Team Typing Fast with all rights and privileges bestowed. Are you ready for the question?
I second it. All in favor? Dab.
All right. Dab. Anyway.
Hey, okay. So Noah dabbed on me. Did I tell you that?
No.
I was getting her dressed and I was like, can you just stop wiggling for just a second? I'm trying to put your pajamas on you. And she's wiggling and she's wiggling. She's moving on her bed and I'm trying to like put her coconut oil on her and put her pajamas on her. And I said, Noah, chill out for a second. This little girl dabbed on me. So
that's your child.
I said, did you just dab on me? She was like, yeah.
That's your child. Yours.
It is. It is. Mine and mine alone. Except for that face. Girl. Well, that is it for the graduation announcements and the shout out to my sis Ambrose.
Indeed.
Congratulations to all of the graduates.
And everyone who just shouted out people that they love. Because we love that as well. Thank you guys for listening and thank you guys for submitting. As Jade said, we'll be reading graduation announcements through the month of June. And then on July 1st, we'll be back to shouting out our poppin' sisters and brothers for owning fabulous businesses and just being their fantastical selves. So if you have nominations for Shout Out to My Sis going forward, you know how to reach us at gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. And we look forward to reading all of the wonderful things that you guys are doing.
Word. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this episode.
Gather your snacks and your water and let us...
What are we eating this week? I had oxtail pizza.
You did? From where?
From this place on Flatbush called Zurley.
They would serve oxtail pizza in Flatbush.
They also have a jerk chicken pizza with corn on it. It's delicious. Mm-hmm. But the oxtail pizza, my nigga, it's so good.
That sounds delightful.
Zurley is very delicious.
Shout out
to
it out. Shout out to Zurley in Brooklyn.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just eating some raspberries.
I love raspberries.
These are the golden ones, so they're like yellow, but they're a little creepy to look at, but they taste amazing.
Life.
So yeah, this week, ladies, gents, guys, and dolls, we've gotten lots of emails about friendships, whether it be like starting new friendships or maintaining old ones, or finding closure when friendships resolve. So we thought it would be cool to just have an episode where we focused on friends. We can talk about friends. We don't really have a script or a solid outline. It's not like we'd follow it even if we did. So I just thought we would start by asking each other questions. So I came up with like 3 questions about friends and friendships, and Jade came up with some questions about friends and friendships, and we're just going to ask each other questions and see whether how the conversation flows from there. Yeah. So I'm going to go first.
All right.
Sis.
Sure.
What do you value about friendships, and why are friends important to you?
What do I value about friendships, and why are friends important to me? I, at this point, value my quality friendships. I only keep quality friendships at this point. People who I sincerely am invested in, who I love like family. People I would trust in my home if I wasn't there. Because I feel like that's really important. If you can trust a nigga in your house when you're not there, they all right.
True.
What was the second part of that question?
Why are friends important to you?
Friends are important to me because a lot of times, some people are super, super close with their family. And then other times there are people who are not close with their family members. And it's not even just that. I think that having that well-rounded group of people who are willing to be honest with you, who are willing to support you, you're willing to support them, is just healthy in life. It provides another level of happiness. And it balances you out to have different perspectives and to have different energies around you that help to, to motivate you and build you up. So that's why I think friendships are important.
Oh, well, that is precious.
What about you?
I think that I have learned a lot about myself through my friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And I really value that. So yeah, I think that's why friends and friendships are important to me. I learn a lot about myself, and I learn a lot about others. And what my strengths and weaknesses are, as it relates to cultivating and maintaining meaningful friendships. So I think that friends and friendships are like, good ways to kind of track and monitor your progress on maintaining a positive sense of self and like a healthy self-image. I think that friends and friendships and different experiences that we have through the relationships that we have are really like opportunities where life gets to put some of the things about us and the things that we aspire to be, like it puts it all like to the test. Like it's when the rubber meets the road. So that's why I think it's really cool. Because I've learned a lot through my friendships. That's why, I'm really particular about, the friendships that, I know that there are different kinds of friendships and different kinds of associations, I should say, because, everybody that you associate with and hang out with doesn't necessarily get the friend, doesn't fall into the friend category. And that's a lesson that I had to learn, the hard way. But I have the people who I ride for, the people who I believe ride for me, those people were identified through the test of like real life things. And there are sometimes, in life where you're friends and associated with people out of convenience or proximity or, shared common experience at that time. And it's not like you're using one another, but it's just a matter of like you guys were there to support each other through that particular time or phase in your life. But once that phase is complete, then, the dynamic changes. Doesn't mean that there's any love loss or that you don't like that person anymore, but it's just like the nature of your relationship has changed. So yeah, and those are things that you learn just by being a person and growing and living and challenge and evolving through those kinds of experiences. So I think that having friends and friendships kind of teach us stuff, and it kind of keeps us on our toes and in check in terms of how we are progressing through life.
Absolutely. And I think even those friendships, like the ones that may phase out or even ones that may end badly, are still just as important as the ones that you carry, because they teach you those lessons. They teach you how you can be a better friend. They teach you how, what you will and will not tolerate in a friendship. Like, I think even those negative experiences are ones that you can learn from.
Certainly. It's negative on negative, not like bad, but like bad things that were your fault and bad things that weren't your fault too. Because I think one of the things that I have been guilty of is just kind of like blaming everybody else for the demise or when friendships dissolved, it was because of them. It was all them. But then I was able to take a step back and say, there was things that I probably could have done differently. And, that's the opportunity for me to kind of check myself. And, life, you go through phases and things just change. And it doesn't have to always be like a ugly kind of thing. So, yeah, that was my question. What's your question for me?
Do you find that most of the friends that you have now are friends that you've made in your adulthood, or friends that you've had since childhood, or is it kind of a mix of both?
I think it's a mixture of both, a healthy mixture of both. I think that, yes, I have friends who I have had for years and years and years, and the dynamics of those relationships have changed just like we have changed. So like, of course, people who I was super tight with in high school, and I would see them and talk to them all the time. We all live in different states now. Everyone's working, and people have families and husbands and children and businesses and doing different things. So we don't necessarily get the opportunity to talk as frequently as possible. But when I do speak to those close friends that I do have from previous phases of life, when we do talk, it's just like we never stop talking. And then I have friends who I have become close with later on in life who support me in ways that the people who I grew up with can't support me, because they, because I'm not the same Keia, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. Or like, not even, maybe that's not the right way to put it, but like, my perspective has changed. And like, as you evolve and grow and come to see and be yourself in different spaces, everybody's not going to catch the wave. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be people who drop off and people who don't get it. And you may fall in and out of stuff with people. And oftentimes I have found in those cases, when certain relationships have kind of fizzled out, I've, been presented with other opportunities to cultivate new relationships and different relationships to teach me different things, the things that I need to learn in that phase. You know what I'm saying? So like, I became friends with you, and we've been through things, and I've been able to learn things through my relationship with you that I probably wouldn't have been able to handle if I was 22. Or, you know what I'm saying? I would have been in a different space. My priorities would have been different. I probably still would have been running up and down the West Side Highway chasing these niggas. But you know what I'm saying? Life brings you to different. Life brings you through different things, and you see life differently. So like, as your perspective changes, your relationships and the people around you that kind of feed where you are in life are going to change. So I say it's a healthy mix of the two. The people I have, people like Leslie and Latoya and Pamela, like they're going to be like, really, girl? like these are people, Tiffany, like Janine, people who I grew up with, like from the house, like, like the squad. Those are the people who, when it all comes down to it, I know I can call them. And now, I have people like Keisha and Nakia and you and Crystal, and you know what I'm saying? So, and Ginger and Linnell, and like, so everyone, like, all the people, Jasmine, Laverne, all of them, all the people in my life right now. And I don't want to name names because people are going to be like, you ain't even call me. Like, but, but you learn different things, you know what I'm saying? Like, and people who have supported me in ways, you know, and I think this is weird. I'm talking a whole lot, but I've been able to cultivate real relationships, real friendships with people who I met online. And I probably would have not have, like, I probably would have laughed. If you would have told me like 15, 20 years ago that some of my best friends would be people that I met online, I would be like, girl, get your life together. Like, that's crazy talking. But for real, like people like Dubs and, you know, the Nickies, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these people like Naldo and Bobby, like these are people who, you know, when it came down to it, you know, when I really needed you know what I'm saying? Like even when my brother passed, my friends, you guys who had never met my brother showed up for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take that kind of stuff lightly. So there's a really long answer, but the answer to the question is it's a healthy mixture of the two.
Okay.
So you answer your own question now. Go.
I think mine is also a mixture of the two. I guess because of like our living situation, like we moved a lot. So, I have a couple of friends that I've had like since childhood who like my parents are friends with their friends, but we still have our own friendship. So I have like my friend Michelle, who I've known since I was 6 years old. And even though we haven't lived in the same place for a really long time, she came up for my wedding. Like, you know, I love her and we're trying to plan some family vacations and things like that. I have my friend Yolanda, my friend Janelle, who I've been friends with since I was 15. So they see me through a whole lot of bullshit and some really ugly clothes.
Girl, ain't that white eyeliner and name belts and Jesus help us today. Like
so many. Yolanda used to braid my hair and I was her test dummy. So she would do every style that Alicia Keys had on my head. So yeah, it was, and I also had a very tomboyish style. So it was quite similar.
What a time to be alive.
Right. I was gonna try to spell that out, but I can't. And then I have a lot of friends who I've met as an adult who are some of my closest girlfriends now. Because, you know, I love to support them and they support me and I'm able to be open with them and talk with them, you know, about different things that I'm feeling and just be honest. And, you know, people like yourself, like you talk about how, you know, you don't take it lightly that we came for you, but you know what I'm saying? I love you. So I'm going to do whatever it is to support my sister in that time. And I feel like these people are my chosen family. So I think mine is probably a healthy mix of the two. I definitely have friends that I've been friends with since stupidity. And then I've got friends that I have made as an adult who are just as important to me. But like you said, everybody serves a different purpose. You don't have the same relationship with everybody. Like most of my friends who I did grow up with, we don't talk all the time. But when we do, like you said, it's nothing. Like it's just like we talked yesterday. We're able to just catch up and go over everything. And it's like no love lost. Nothing was ever lost. We're able to find the beat, like the 1 and the 3. So is it the 2 and 4?
Yes, girl, it's the 2 and the 4. I was sitting over here like
white people clap on the 1 and the 3. It's the 2 and the 4. It's also midnight.
It is late in the midnight hour.
Cut me some slack.
I will.
So that's my answer to my question. I also have a healthy mix of the two because I feel like it's important. I feel like it's important to have people around you who have seen you in different stages of your life. And you all are able to talk about it and laugh about it, but who can also check you. And then I think it's also important to have people, you know what I'm saying, who you meet when you're at a different place in your life, when you know that you can be a healthy friend. And that's how you cultivate some of those lasting relationships later on. What's your next question?
My next question is, what are examples of challenges or frustrations that you've dealt with within your friendships?
I think if I can think offhand, probably one of the biggest frustrations I've dealt with in a friendship was, so you know how you have your friends and then when you say something that might like rub them the wrong way, even if nobody says anything, like you just kind of automatically, I'm like, damn, like maybe I shouldn't have said that way or whatever the case. In this particular friendship, it was nothing like that. This girl and I were really, really close. We spoke literally on a daily basis, all day. We chatted on Instant Messenger. We talked on the phone. I went to go visit her. I stayed with her. We had plans of her coming to visit. Like, we were really, really close. And then one day she just stopped speaking to me.
Ghost.
I mean, literally ghosted me. And when I tell you, it wasn't like a build up. It wasn't like one of those situations where I can reflect back and be like, well, maybe when I said this like this, or maybe when we had this conversation, it kind of like, it was I literally could not think of anything under the sun. And it showed me that if somebody has the ability to do that and there is no falling out or there is no anything, like there's literally nothing, that person probably wasn't your friend to begin with. I've also come to realize that this person is slightly crazy. But I say all that to say that, you know, that was probably one of the more frustrating moments, because it's like you really sit here and you racking your brain. Because the thing about friendship too is that you got to check yourself as well to make sure that you're being the kind of friend that you want to have. You know what I'm saying? If you can't be out here being a shitty ass friend and you're expecting people to be like these 5-star quality people for you. Right. That's just not how it works. You're going to attract what you put out. So I think when it comes to a situation like that, where you're putting out quality friendship and a person can just ghost you like that, it's like, I've come to peace with the fact, I'm like, well, this person wasn't my friend. My feelings are not hurt. Like, I'm good. But it's confusing, and confusion can get frustrating when you literally can't come up with an answer.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like whack. It's whack. I mean, and you think, like, you know, in the long run, and ultimately, like, the person did you a favor because, you know, like you said, they're showing you who they are.
Right.
But it is frustrating to just not have a reason why.
Right.
And to not be able to, to not be able to kind of speak up for yourself or speak, like, benefit of the doubt is like important to me. Like, you know, give me the benefit of the doubt. Right. At least if you have a problem with me, bring it to me so that I could at least address it. Or, you know, don't just, you know.
And if we got to dead the friendship after that, we just got to dead the friendship after that.
Like, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, don't, I always say, I've said this before, but don't reach a conclusion about a relationship by yourself, because it's a relationship between two people. So, right. You know, you need to at least involve, unless it's a situation of like abuse or someone is completely like crossed the line of no return. Like, if, you know, there are reasons where it's just a hard stop, but, you know, most of the time and under most circumstances, like you should at least, I think everybody's entitled to at least say, all right, I reached a point where this just isn't working for me no more and I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that sucks.
What's your next one?
My next question. I think you asked me a question.
Oh, did I?
No, because I asked you, that was your challenge of frustration. Now you asked me a question.
Oh.
Girl.
Do you have any friendships currently or in the past that you have had to, or I guess maybe in the past then. Do you have any friendships from the past that you've had to dead because they were draining friendships and they did not benefit your life in any kind of way?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
The answer is yes. I'm not saying that. I'm just like, I don't know. I thought I was saying like yes, and that was just going to be my answer. But I guess you need me to expound.
Only if you want to. You don't have to.
I have definitely had instances where, you know, you just outgrow a situation, and you need to make. So, like, you know, that age-old adage where people saying, like, you know, when you do the same thing and expect the same result, it's like insanity or something like that. I have been in friendships and in relationships where we just keep hitting our head up against the same wall. Like, you know, whether it's been like at some point the trust is broken, or at some point there was some sort of falling out, and for the sake of a group of friends, we patch things up, but we never really got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was never any real reconciliation, any real forgiveness. Because it seems like every time anything happened, it was just like, oh, and then you throw the same situation. Like you keep talking about and bringing up old stuff and bringing up old stuff and bringing up old stuff. And you never really get past it. And I have definitely been in situations where it's just like, all right, well, we have been around this mountain to like long enough. And it's clear that this relationship is beyond repair. So for the sanctity and dexterity of my edges, I'm going to back away from this stress and anxiety. And I wish you all the best in your life. Like I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I mean, and the same can be said in situations where I've been in a situation where, you know, I think when you have a friendship, you ought to be able to tell your friend, hey, girl, I ain't like it when you did A, B, C, D. Or, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be like this whole basketball wife situation where y'all had this come to Jesus meeting at a restaurant. It could literally just be like, girl, when you had did that, it made me feel this way. And that's it.
Right.
And I've been in those situations and had those conversations. And I feel like if I've told you that your behavior makes me feel some kind of way and you do nothing to change it, then the onus is on me to modify my behavior to make sure that I don't feel some kind of way. Right. So, you know, in which case I've taken that, you know, responsibility very seriously and say, all right, so if you're going to continue to behave this way in this relationship, I'm going to back out of it. You know what I'm saying? So to answer your question, absolutely. I have definitely had to, and it's not like I'm cutting you off. I hate you. I hate your life. There are some times where, you know, you just kind of really fall back. But then, you know, it's not like, you know, if I see you, I'm going to like cross the street or something. Cause I don't have no beef with nobody but Jesus. There are people that I don't care for, but I can coexist, you know, with anybody. And it's not like, you know, you're not going to, you know, run my mascara, sis. So, yeah, to your question, there have been instances where I've had to take a step back. And a lot of times when people have those things, we've gotten a question like this where it's like, you know, I feel myself growing out of this relationship, but you know, I've been friends with this person for so long and I feel like I've invested so much time. It's like, sis, time is one of those things that you can't get back. So, you know, why would you stay in a situation, you know, and be stressed out and anxious and upset, and be feeling some kind of way about your friendships? You know what I'm saying? When, you know, when you could just kind of cut your losses and just start over again.
That's really it.
Yeah, because we're stuck with family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us can't change the cousins, aunties, siblings that we have, parents. You can't change any, you know what I'm saying? But friends, you got a little bit more flexibility there.
You do.
So you do have some control over your space, your time. So I just you can get to a point where it's like, oh, I'm not giving any more energy to this constant bickering and fighting that we do. I'm not giving no more energy to this. And I'm just going to let you have have an enjoyable life. I wish you all the best. Really, truly.
Well, I guess to answer my own question.
Do that, girl.
I have had to cut a draining person off, and I didn't cut them off initially because they were draining. I cut them off because I thought they were being foul. And again, it was one of those things like you said, where it wasn't like I'm getting ready to cross the street. If I see you, or I'm not going to speak to you, I wish ill will on you. It's nothing like that. It was just one of those things where it's like, you know what? I choose to not engage with you as frequently as I once did. And the person felt a way about it, hit me up. And we had a conversation, and I kind of, you know, I said what I said my piece, and then we agreed that we were just going to move forward and everything was going to be fine. And, you know, the relationship may not be the way that it once was, because I told them, I was like, you know, this relationship just isn't what it used to be, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just life. You know what I'm saying? It happens, and it's okay. Like, I wish the best for you. I still love you. And so we had this conversation, and it seemed like it ended well, and then this person turned around and sent me an email. And it was like paragraphs, plural.
She wrote it in her journal, sis. She had to let it out.
many paragraphs. It's like an article. And I just got to like the 8th paragraph. I was like, yo.
Oh my.
I was at that point I had gotten to, I said, you know what? If you want to villainize me in a 12 paragraph email, then baby, I will be Ursula. Like,
come on. Keep singing.
Give me your voice. Give me your voice. Like, I don't care. Like, you want to villainize me at that point? You are getting on my nerves. Okay, fine. I'll be the bad guy. I don't care. I'm the bitch. It's fine. It's done.
Because, you know, sometimes you realize some people need that. It's like, all right. Like Chrisette Michelle said, even though she's canceled, blame it on me.
Canceled.
Say it's my fault.
86.
Blame it on, I will be that if that's what you need. If you needed to be like, Keia is the reason why we don't speak. Okay. I'm all right.
It's nothing.
Because at the end of the day, my rent is due by the 10th of every month.
And guess who doesn't help me pay it?
Listen. God bless your heart. As much as this means to you, it just doesn't mean that much to me. That's it. Like, that's all.
And the thing is, like, in friendships, if friendships that you sincerely and you genuinely care about, you don't ever want to hurt that person. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want to be the person who causes any sort of discomfort or pain to a person that you care about. So you are going to feel bad if you ever do anything like that. But then there are other people where it's just like, I can't care any longer about anything that you're saying because you're just making me so tired.
Mm-hmm.
You're just literally making me so tired. Like, and it doesn't matter what I say to you, you're going to find a new issue. And at that time, it's time to cut it. Like, I don't have to, like, I don't have anything else for you.
Cut it.
Cut it.
Cut it.
Cut it. Cut it.
Cut it. It's real, and it totally happens. It totally happens.
That's it.
You got any more questions, or is it
Nah, it's your turn anyway.
What ways have you evolved with regard to your friendships over the years?
I've tried to evolve in my thinking. You're gonna evolve in action anyway, hopefully, if you grow as a person. But just in my approach, in making sure that I constantly check myself and my friendships. Like, am I being the type of friend that I want to have? Am I being the type of friend that I feel is acceptable? Am I truly being a good friend to this person, genuine and sincerely? And so I've just tried to make sure that as I get older and as I grow, that the friendships that I have, I try to evaluate what they're adding to my life, and not in a selfish way, like, you gotta give me something from this. It's not anything like that, but right. Are you adding anything to my life? Are you helping me to become a better person? Are you helping me to grow as a person? Are we growing together as people? Do I want to be there for you in those times where you need me? Do I want you there in those times when I need somebody? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just really, really evaluating what different people add to my life. So as I get older and I think that way, it helps me to truly cultivate and keep lasting and solid friendships because they're starting on a healthy and solid foundation.
True.
Answer your own question.
I will, but real quick, speaking of true, right? Did you know that it was like recently, it was like the 20th anniversary of the Crush on You video?
Stop, really?
Yes, like somebody had put it on Twitter and I was like, oh my gosh, we must celebrate. But anyway.
I feel like just yesterday I got in trouble for singing She's a Slut, She's a Hoe, She's a Freak.
Yes, got a different girl every day of the week. Crush on You was one of my first singles.
I gotta let you know that, hey, yo, shorty, won't you go get a bag, girl, and lead through? I'll be undressed in a bra or see-through.
I was a big Little Kim fan, and I didn't buy albums because, Rhonda was not about that. But I would buy the singles, I would take my little lunch money or whatever dollars I had and buy the little singles for $1.99, $3.99, whatever. So I remember having a Crush on You single, and I remember having the Ladies Night single. It's Ladies Night, what? It must be Angie on the mind.
Honey, got the sugar, got the spice.
I'm so old. I'm dating myself.
Oh
anyway,
my God, we are.
Let me answer this question. My question is really not that, my answer to that question is really not that much different from yours. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that my thinking has evolved, with regard to, how I regard friendships. Mm-hmm. I can definitely say that as a young lass in high school and even in college a little bit, it was important to me to be like, sociable and liked. And I don't even really think that I ever wanted to be like popular, but mm-hmm. you just wanted the kids to like you. And like associating with people, just because I thought that they were cool or whatever. Without really taking the time to get to know them, like who they are, like fundamentally as people. And that's fine. And it works for the time that it works. But eventually, the closer that you get to people, the more time that you spend with them, things about your character start to come out and things about their character start to come out. And sometimes those things just don't line up. Not good, not bad, not judging or qualifying those things in any way, but just saying there's just times where things don't line up. And I think age has taught me, and I've evolved with regard to friendships in that, like, I'm a lot more cognizant of making sure that I connect with people, on serious, like, essential, important, necessary things. Like, not just because like, oh yeah, we both, work at this job and we spend a lot of time together because we're here, but I actually give a crap about who you are and what's going on in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, there are things, it's just,
I'm gonna tell you the truth when I think you want some bullshit.
Yes. Like, even when it hurts, even what might hurt your feelings, I think, and that has, it's superficial, surface level friendships have just become less and less the older that I've gotten. And, I also attribute a lot of that. Like, I know that y'all, be sick of me or whatever, but y'all know, as for me and my niggas, I'm always going to praise the Lord. And as someone who, really tries to have and cultivate a real relationship with God, Jesus Christ, I'm very cognizant. Like, I don't leave my friendships and relationships out of that. So as I'm checking in with myself, I'm also checking in to make sure that the relationships that I have with people line up with God's standard for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to let people who I know would compromise those standards. And I'm not talking about, what people do, like, drinking, smoking. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who,
Clearly.
Girl, shut up. I'm talking about people, because, we all do that kind of stuff. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm talking about people who are going to, like, see what direction I'm headed in and try to divert me from that. You know what I'm saying? People trying to, like, stomp or thwart your come up, your glow up. Like, if I see you walking into your purpose and I'm going to be like, ooh, that's going to make everybody, like, not look at me. Let me just hate on her or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Try to, like, talk you out of the things that you're supposed to have. So I have consciously asked God through the challenging friendships that I've had in my life. I said, Lord, I'm tired of fighting with these hoes over these things that don't matter. So I just need you to surround me with people who are for me and give me the discernment to say, okay, she's not it. Like, and it don't have to be shady. I can still see her and be like, hey sis, your shoes are cute, but I'm not going to, like, spend time with her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, like, spend real time with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see her. We can sit around brunch and just ha 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 and key, but she's not going to be somebody who I call when, I'm having a messed up day and I'm stressed out and I need somebody to encourage my heart. So I think that has, I can say that I used to be like, oh girl, her shoes are nice. She gonna be my friend. Hey girl, excuse me. Like, that used to be, cause you like people who like the stuff that you like. So you would just connect over those kinds of things. But now it's like, whether or not we do the same things and like the same things, if I think that you are a good person and you're going to help me be a better Keia and I can help you be a better you, then we going to be friends. And that's people like, when I prayed that prayer, that's how I know it's regardless of, like, differences that you have with people. You develop close friendships with people who may not come from the same places that you came from. You know what I'm saying? Or had different experiences entirely than you've had. And you learn different things through them. So yeah. Shout out to my friends. I love you guys.
Yeah. I love my friends. Like I have my core group of girlfriends. And not all of them are like phone people, Crystal, but
don't you call my sis out. Don't you
I'm
do
calling
that.
your sis out.
Take
I'm calling
it
my
back.
sis out. No, I love her. But me and Crystal, like, we'll text each other and check on each other. And then we catch up in person. Like, we catch up when we hang out. You know what I'm saying? And that's when how's everything going? How you feeling? What's going on with this? You know, you can kiki, you can laugh. We can lay back, but then we can also have conversations. Like, how you feeling? Like, how are you doing? Me and Fran don't sit on the phone, but when we get together, we can run our mouths for hours.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then I have my friends who are long distance, and I don't have the opportunity to see them the way that I want to. Corporate Barbie and, you know, Nikki, Texas Hummingbird, Nikki. Like, we will get on FaceTime and talk to each other's kids and talk about what's going on in our lives.
I saw my niece and my nephew tonight. Both the Nikki FaceTime me. I saw my nieces and my nephew. Shout out to Avery and Micah. I love you guys.
Oh my God. I love the babies. I love the babies. Nikki FaceTimed me with, she tried to FaceTime me, but I was eating, so I didn't get a chance to answer her. But we will sit on the phone literally for hours and just kind of just catch up. And it's in every different facet. And when I go back and I reflect on those friendships, I feel comfortable in those friendships. I feel comfortable being myself. I feel comfortable being myself with no matter what direction that goes. And when I know I feel like that, that's when I know the friendship is the right thing for me. But we have a couple of emails.
Yes. Let's move on over into the honesty box, shall we?
Honestly?
Truly. Weave, merge, weave. Stupid. I watch the trashiest Instagram videos and internet filth because it entertains me, guys.
Listen.
And I'll reference it often. I follow Keisha Kawar. Like, it entertains me. Weave.
Clearly it entertains you, sis. Clearly. So jump into the emails, girl.
Oh yeah. Our first email comes from Nicole.
Okay.
Nicole says, "Hey, Jade and Keia. I just want to start this email off by saying, as someone who just graduated college this May and is barely even getting close to the G of getting grown, I really enjoy your podcast.
Well, thank you.
I look forward to it every Tuesday, yes. And it truly lights up my spirit to know that no matter how old you are, you never have it all figured out. You're damn right. I was writing because I'm currently living in Virginia and have been given the offer to move to Houston, Texas to stay with my aunt and uncle. They have offered their home to me for as long as needed and have been so helpful, giving me job search tips and all types of things. While I was hesitant at first, I've decided to go because I have nothing keeping me in my current city. No serious job, no commitment, and my lease will be up. God has put a burning spirit inside of me, saying I need to go and I have to follow it. It's also a great opportunity to save these coins. I know that's right. I've been paying for most of all my necessities since getting to school, including rent, and I know this move will help me be in a more stable place fiscally without having to live paycheck to paycheck. The only hang-up is I'm truly going to miss my friends. I have a few very close friends who I've gotten very, very close with in the past 5 years, although I have known many of them since before that and throughout college. They were like my family. Yet they all have big girl jobs, serious partners, and are living their own lives, and I can't stay out of complacency and fear when God has put in my spirit that I need to move. My main worry about moving is, how do you make friends once you're grown? I really enjoy my own company, but at the same time, I truly enjoy and love the company of others. But I'm very nervous about the part of moving. It may be a little childish, but I also had trouble making solid friends as a child, so I'm worried that as an adult, this could happen as well. So any tips on making new friends and staying connected with old ones as you go through adult tips would be life. Thanks for reading this, and once again, I want to say keep doing what y'all do. I love you both like play cousins. Love, Nicole."
Similarly, we got an email from Victoria, who asked she says, "I don't know how to make friends as an adult. It's funny how as a child you can have the same color shirt as someone and you have an instant BFF. Not so much as an adult. It seems like you two have a very supportive and inclusive circle of friends. You all come from different places, so I'm interested to know how you all became friends. More importantly, how do you make new friends as an adult? I'm a 35-year-old married mother of 2. I find that my new friends consist of spouses of my husband's friends and mothers of my kids' friends. No matter how often we hang out, I can't seem to form those close, lasting friendships. You know, those friendships where you can go on trips together, call it any hour, and vent in a judgment-free zone, and then receive honest and helpful advice. How sway. Thanks in advance, Victoria. So I guess we decided to read these 2 emails together because they were basically asking the same question, but from 2 different perspectives. So is there one that you want? Do you have any like general comments for the both of them? And then we can maybe get more specific.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So, both of you are asking how you can make friends as an adult. One thing that I really like about being an adult, because Victoria brought out how as a kid, like you can have the same color shirt and then all of a sudden you guys are best friends. And it's true, because I feel like every time we take Noah somewhere new with kids, it's like she has a new best friend and she's calling them her best friend for the day. And then she thinks about them one more day and then she forgets about them. So, but one thing I really love as an adult is the fact that as you become more comfortable with yourself as a person, and you do focus on having those lasting and those valuable friendships, you find that a lot of you may be similar, but you may be very different as well, but you appreciate those differences in each other. And I think that, in these, like both of you in these different places in your life, but asking the same question, I don't know how to tell you how to make friends, but I know that it doesn't have to be somebody who's similar to you. So you have the mom, right? Mm-hmm. You ain't got to be friends with them kids' mothers. Mm-hmm. If they're whack, they're whack. Like, I don't want to be friends with every kid's mother that I meet. Right. And sometimes you have friends and they have a child and the child is awful, but you still are friends with the person. Why don't you answer this? I want to hear what you have to say.
I think that, I mean, it's kind of hard because I don't know that there are surefire ways that you'll just go out and meet friends, because it depends on a lot of different factors. Like it depends on, you know, the person. It depends on the mood that they're in that day. It depends on the mood that you're in that day. It depends on lots of different things. And I'm of the belief that when you know, a lot of times these things happen when we're not thinking about it. Like, you know, like I never, I'm thinking about people like Asante and Fury and Dustin and, you know, like these are not people who I saw one day and said, I'm going to be their friends. Like it's just kind of like, you know, out of, you know, even, you know, XC, like, you know, you just start talking and, you know, from there, you know, things just kind of develop. I do think that, you know, it's being open and being conscious and aware of yourself within the surroundings that you're in. As somebody who moved to a new city and didn't know anyone, I will say that, like, you know, working on, and it's hard for me because, you know, I don't really make it a practice to talk to strangers, but I do, I recognize that, you know, we are born to relate to one another. So there are times and in different spaces where, you know, you just kind of come across people and you have to be open to those kind of things. So when I moved to where I moved to, I met a lot of people at church, and it wasn't just going to church and sitting down and leaving, but it was when I became involved in things at church, when I decided to join the choir and like different ministries and do different things, going to the gym. You know, a lot of times it's not that I said I'm going to talk to her, but sometimes I'll just be talking. Like I can remember being in a gym class or, you know, working with a trainer and being like, this nigga is crazy. And somebody be like, yeah, girl. And then the next thing you know, we talking. Like, you know, so, you know, working at conferences, and women love compliments. I'm not telling you to just go around and make creepy compliments to people, but, you know, like just things to break the ice. You know what I'm saying? Like Keisha and I always say when I at Keisha's bridal shower, we all had to go around and kind of talk about how our friendships developed, because, you know, those are the kinds of hokey things that we have to do. with Keisha. Love you, sis. Anyway, so I remember saying at her, right. She's such a Pinterest friend, right? Like, I found this on Pinterest. Let's do this. Okay. Love you, sis. Anyway. So I remember saying at Keisha's shower that Keisha and I met over pretty things because we saw one another. Like she was serving at church and I was serving at church and we would see each other in different spaces. And I would be like, oh, that's a nice dress. And oh, those are some nice shoes. Like we would see each other and be complimenting each other from afar. But, you know, one day we just decided to compliment each other, like when we passed, like, hey, girl, you know, I love that. And from then, you know, we just started speaking more and more. And then you want to come with me here? You want to go with me there? So those kind of things just kind of flourished and developed. And, you know, I think, you know, that's just, I don't know. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I think that just being not stressing out about it, but being conscious of it and just being open to letting those kind of things develop as they develop is I think that's the advice I would give if that's good advice.
And also being natural, like don't try to force it. When you try to force it, that's when you start to push people away. And anything that's forced and doesn't feel natural, it's just, it ain't never going to fit right.
Organic.
So you have to make sure you have to make sure that you're forming organic relationships, that they're really coming. Like I met Keia at Bobby's apartment.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't look at her and say, I'm going to be besties with that girl with that silky ponytail.
You want to hear the story of how Jade and I met? This is just so true to how our friendship is actually. Do you remember, sis?
Well, you know, I do remember parts of the evening. But you go ahead and relay that to the people.
So Jade was sitting at Bobby's house in the living room. She was rolling a blunt. Right? Okay. Just wait. So I'm sitting on the couch at Bobby's house. I get up to go to the kitchen for one reason or another, right? So when Jade came, I don't remember who you came with, but you came from Brooklyn. We were sitting there. I came
by myself.
I don't know what we were talking about.
XD? Sorry.
Maybe it was XD. I don't remember. But I got up to do something and Jay says, oh my gosh, her butt is bigger than mine. And I was like, what? Like we had spoken, like I was like, hey girl, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But we didn't have any conversation at that point. And I was like, oh no, sis, it's not. Like, and we kind of went back and forth like, girl, your butt is, and I'm like, no. And I remember I had on like a dress. It was like a tube top dress.
Yes.
And I had on some boy shorts. And when I tell you that I lifted my dress,
yes, you did.
I said, girl, I have the receipts.
Cheeks.
I have the receipts and I am willing to show anyone in this room that your tail is in fact the biggest tail in this apartment at this present time. And I was right. Thank you.
You were only proven right years later.
What?
When we were at Keisha's house.
No.
When we were at Keisha's house with that measuring tape. Because Keisha also is dragging a wagon.
But wait a second. I would like the record to reflect that the consensus in the room on that day actually confirmed my initial position that my behind is not as big as yours. Thank you. You can continue.
Yeah.
But that's how we met, guys.
Stop this. Let me slam the gavel.
I was like, yeah. I was like, oh. And then from then it was just like, oh yeah, that's Jade. Like, it was like, we were just good buddies after that. We were just, after she,
and then we would do these stupid accents and, we just became sisters.
I forgot about those, but yes. So yeah, that's how, like, she got up from her seat and we had a side-by-side comparisons of our behinds.
Anybody with a butt, like, is comparable to mine. And I'm calling it out.
Listen.
I'm calling it out.
It is quite a sight.
Fran turned around. I said, Fred, damn, Fred. You dragging all of that,
no,
Fred.
I'm saying, like, people who have big butts, we tend to be drawn to other people who have big butts.
Oh, so yeah, because I'm like, oh, you feel all that heaviness too?
I celebrate you, sis. You get this struggle. You understand.
I'm your sis in the lower back pain.
But yeah, that's how we met. So yeah, we say that to say that your friendships will develop as there's no rhyme or reason. You know what I'm saying? And they will develop in the most random ways. So you should just be open to that. And I hope that that's helpful. Go places and do things that you like to do and be seen enjoying yourself, and people will gravitate towards you. I think that's
Absolutely. And that's the both of you. And you know what? The one with the mother with the children, Victoria, you may meet a mother. Like, so I met this mother recently when we went to go do some school stuff, and she was cool. She was real cool. And so I hinted to her, I was just like, I'm not uptight. Like, I like to relax.
Girl.
I was like, and I don't need any judgmental mothers around me. I'm not getting ready to relax around my child, but you know what I'm saying. And she was like, oh, I'm right here with you. And they came over and brought a whole bunch of beer, and it was cool. And the kids played, and it was one of those things where they linked up. And then you got some other mothers, and they have you rolling your eyes all the way to the back of your head. You ain't got to be friends with them. But I agree with Keia. You just have to let things form organically. After we met and we compared butts, we walked to Popeyes. It was a match made in heaven.
It was. That's exactly right. You know, I forgot about that. It was like, we need some chicken. You want to go?
Yeah. Yeah. And we walked up the block to Popeyes.
That's exactly what happened. Oh, so, good times.
Your friendships always form in a way where they come from a supernatural place, almost to the point where sometimes you can't even remember how you became friends because that's how natural it is.
Right.
I deserve.
It's time for Black women's self-care.
I deserve.
Sing Mama Deborah.
Oh.
That old pain and tortured run. You better sing.
Yo, out on the concrete in the park on the street, singing in my bedazzled outfit down just like an ice cream truck. That's how she looked.
I love Mama D.
So much. She's crazy as cat shit. Anyway, Black woman self-care, what you do?
Sis, I got a trainer.
Yes.
I don't know that I like him right now.
Fair.
You know how that relationship is. It's just like, I don't know if you're supposed to like your trainer. I've never really had a trainer before. This is a new experience for me. But as someone who I have an autoimmune condition, I don't know if I've shared this before, but I have rheumatoid arthritis. Mm-hmm. It influences my joints, most specifically in my wrist and hands, which makes certain exercises challenging for me. Like I can't really do push-ups or do anything where I have to kind of like hold, like pull-ups. Anything where I have to like hold my body weight on my wrist is a no-go. Mm-hmm. So I have been having some challenges trying to get this dissertation weight, and the grief weight and all the things that I've using as an excuse for eating everything that I could find, over these last few months. I'm trying to get all that under control. And I've been working with a trainer and just trying to get educated about what exercises I can do to get the results that I want to get. And I've been working with him for just under 3 weeks now. And I mean, I definitely can see a difference in myself in terms of like, endurance. I don't know that I see any difference in like my body, but I feel better. And I don't really like to work out. So this has just been a process for me, but I'm really trying to just see it through to the end, of my package. And that's what I'm doing to take care of myself as a Black woman. What about you?
A Black woman. That's dope. I'm happy for you.
Thanks,
Trainers
girl.
are like, you're going to really love him when you're able to wear one of those really thotty fashion over sweatsuits.
Well, that's my goal. I feel like my time clock is running low. Like, you know what I'm saying? The statute of limitations as far as my capacity to dress like a thought. I feel like that's all running down because I'm getting up there in age. So I got to run. I got to run with the thought while I still got time. So I think I need to lose about 7 more pounds or so I can fully stand in, 7.
If you add like a 0 to that, that's about what I have to lose.
No, I think I would like to lose because I don't want to be too small because,
No.
Nobody has time for losing all of her lady lumps. I just want to, I don't want to hold my stomach in anymore. And I would like my behind to stand tall for Jesus. That's all.
That's right. I can't be shaking like.
Yeah, I want it to be firm,
video.
Like a tree planted by the rivers of the waters.
Sitting by the sun.
Shut up, girl. What are you doing in Black women's self-care?
I took a nap.
Oh, that's amazing.
My sis.
Naps are of God.
Listen, it was last week, and it was actually before we recorded Getting Grown.
Oh, yes,
and
she
let me tell
did.
y'all about this nap.
Yeah,
and the reason this is Black women self-care is because I don't sleep. I'm literally a vampire. I'm running off of something. I don't know what it is, but I don't sleep.
I don't receive
I just don't have time. I got mad shit to do. Like, it's 12:58. We're still recording, and I still have things to do once we get finished.
So tired.
So I took a nap. Last week, I was like, I have to take a nap before we record. Like, it is what it is. Like, I've got to do this. I don't care what has to be done. This has to be done. So I laid down, and my plan was to get up in like 40 minutes. I always set alarms. I'm a snoozer, but I definitely set alarms. I'm one of those people with like 30 alarms. When I tell you I woke up at 9:48.
And I'm just sitting over at the house like, is we recording tonight or not?
We technically are supposed to like get together at 9:30. That rarely happens, but I looked at that clock and saw 9:48, and it was one of those sleeps where you jump up, you got drool, and you're like confused for a second. But I slept for 2 hours. 2 hours. I took a 2-hour nap. I can't even tell you the last time I did that or the next time. So that's my Black woman self-care.
Naps are amazing. I love them.
And I want to be very responsible of the things I say to my sister. Because everybody know I can be real petty. P-E to the T-T-Y, honey.
Petty. I'm so petty. I'm too petty. Somebody help me. My neck hurt. My chain heavy. Petty. I'm too petty. I won't let it.
You enjoyed that way too much.
I love Gucci.
I see.
I definitely remix that again.
The Gooch.
Petty peeve. Oh, do you ever listen to? I don't really feel like you've ever listened to Gucci Mane album, but
no,
I don't want to judge. So there's this. I'm gonna play this for you one day. So Gucci got an entire like symphony, choir, orchestra, whatever, and he had them sing at the beginning of this album. And it was an entire choir, and it goes, "Oh, Gucci, Gucci, oh, Gucci, Gucci." Anyway. So I'm gonna play that for you one day because I love it. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. I'm
looking forward to it. Yes, I am.
I love Gucci Mane. So anyway, petty peeves this week. My petty peeve. It's along the same vein of a petty peeve that I did a few episodes ago, where this man said this awful pickup line where he was like, "You married to the game." But anyway, so I'm in the bodega the other day, minding my business. And this man walks in with his daughter, and his daughter was probably somewhere around 11 or 12. So he looks at me, he goes, "Hello, princess."
Oh my God.
So of course I stop. I'm like, well, he must be talking to his daughter, but I don't understand why he's greeting her and they came in together. This makes no sense to me. So then I continue to mind my business and "Good day, princess." So I looked at him. I said, "Sir, I'm a grown woman." It was like, I am a queen. Let's be very clear.
Come
here.
on.
I was like, but what you need to be focused on is the princess on your arm. I was like, and you know what? She's not a princess either. She's a queen. I was like, don't be worried about who's out in these streets right now. You need to be worried about who's right next to you. And don't be trying to holler at women when you got your daughter by your side. Come on, nigga. Have some dignity. You don't want nobody trying to holler at your daughter later on like that. Like, why would you do that? So that's my petty peeve. And I turned to the little girl and I was like, "You're our queen." I was like, "Don't let your daddy call nobody else a princess." I was like, "You are important." And I left the bodega with my business.
You better encourage that, you little girl.
Hell yeah, because her daddy's raggedy. She ain't about to be looking at women in these streets like they out here trifling because her daddy out here being trifling.
It's very important.
We don't condone. What's your petty peeve?
My petty peeve, my major beef today is with Mother Nature.
Seems like this is ongoing. It's like Peter and the chicken.
I'm upset with mosquitoes.
Oh, yes.
I don't know what their fascination is with me and my skin, but I just want them to go. I don't think that it's fair that I don't know. I think I'm just more sensitive. Like, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but I feel like when I was younger, I would be like, living my life and I'd be like, oh, I got a mosquito bite. Oh, okay. Now I feel like I can actually feel them little niggas biting me as they bite me. Yeah. And then I literally watch. I don't know if these mosquitoes is out here eating like, oh no, they're eating like KFC. They must be eating something because they are just mammoth and they're like, I feel like I should not feel a mosquito biting me. Mosquito? Yes. A mosquito biting me like it actually feels like a dog or a person or somebody, literally. Like a wasp. Like it's not right. I don't know if we can blame like pesticides. They're out here eating this chicken. That's the chicken. I don't believe that mosquitoes are eating chicken. But if they are, why would they eat chicken? If they eat chicken but don't eat meat? This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Because they eating the one with the steroids. It's making them big. Just like these 8th graders that are out here looking like child. Breast. Let me tell you something. Breast. I was watching my friend's snaps. I don't know if it's hey, Tracy. I was watching Tracy's snaps and she was at her cousin's 8th grade graduation party and she was just like taking snaps of the children. Of course, not anything where they would be like really identify like their bodies from a distance, like their silhouettes, shall I say. But when I tell you that these girls is out here big, like not even like chubby, because I've never been a small child, but I just feel like not only big but bodied and like just curved. All their jiggly bits hanging out. I just can't. It was so much. I was like, I don't know if I have a daughter, she will be vegan because there's something going on in this food. Yeah, and all of these people are they're just overdeveloped. And the problem too is that it's like, okay, so this is really touchy. I'm trying to figure out how to poach this without sounding like I'm victim blaming, because I'm not. But it's real difficult. Mothers. All right, I'm talking to y'all. No Chris Brown. So, mothers. I know, because his mother's not one. That's it. But we're going to talk about her one day because I have a word for her. God bless her heart. I have a few of them. No, don't bless her heart. So anyway, mothers, y'all, listen, I get it. We live in a different time. It's YouTube. You want to teach people how to do things themselves, so forth and so on. You want to develop a craft, a hobby, a skill, whatever. But when you got your daughters out here eating this chicken and drinking this milk and then like beating their faces and then like buying Fashion Nova outfits and then going out in these streets. And these disgusting, already perverted grown men like are, think it's okay for them to be able to approach them. No, that does not make it okay. They need to control themselves. So that's why I want to be very clear that I'm not victim blaming. However, you gotta I'm just a huge fan of letting girls grow up in the way that they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, take your time and don't rush for these things. All the little ones at church be so sick of me because I'll be like, hey, boo, how old are you? She'd be like 12. I'd be like, well, what's wrong with being 12 then? Because you over there in this wooby woo and these 4-inch heels. So I'm trying to figure out what's really happening. And again, I'm not a parent. I don't have any children. I'm not judging from a place because I don't know what it's like. But I think, I don't know. It unsettles me, I have to say. Because like you said, these girls is out here. I was looking on Facebook and, some of the people who I went to high school with, their kids are going to 8th grade dances. And, there's some who are out here looking like 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And there's others who are out here in full gowns with splits and boobs. I'm just like, but you're 12 though. Yeah, like why does your dress come down to your navel? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's prom and you look like Jennifer Lopez. I'm not understanding why this is okay. It's a lot. I mean, we talked about this last week. Was it last week we were talking about the impression? But I don't know. I think it's a big difference when and when we were in school, we were trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I think now with the advent of social media, people is trying to keep up with like
the Kardashians.
Yeah, like the billionaires, like people who are filthy rich and celebrities and can afford these kinds of things. And that's why you got like people is renting Lamborghinis for prom. And it's like, but y'all stay in the...
I was perfectly fine with showing up in a Cadillac.
Listen, with like 16 of my friends, like in the stretch Navigator or something, like with, hey guys, we're going to prom. It's going to be great.
Full of Mary Kay. It was absolutely fine to show up to prom in the Cadillac. Like and not saying, I'm not trying to knock these teenagers. If they have access to more than we have access to, then cool. But it's just the way that I like to see different cultures and different races and different types of people. I like to see different age groups.
Yeah.
I like to see children be children. I like to see, preteens and teenagers be awkward. And then I like to see them grow gracefully into adulthood. But like, I don't want to look at you and, you had pigtails and then the next day, like you got your whole ass out. Like, I just don't want to, it's shocking for me. It's like cold water. I don't.
It's like, I wish that we could just all just kind of be
just take a step
okay
back
with where we are in life.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like the old, I'll be like, these kids be like, y'all sound like two old women all the time. And I'd be like, well,
no, because I don't want you to wear stockings. I don't think you need to wear a slip.
No, that's
I understand the benefits of a slip, but like, no, we're not like that. We're not like that at all. But we just want to see, like, we don't want to see, y'all don't have to be that way. It's not fun to be grown. Some things are fun.
I'm just saying, appreciate where you are.
Yeah.
Baby, if I could go back to that twin bed in Rhonda's house where my only concern was what I was going to have for lunch the next day, whether it was going to be like a cold sandwich or a cheeseburger and fries. Like that was literally what I went to bed thinking about. Like, I wonder what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow. Because those were the things that I was worried about. And now
I can't. No.
If I could go
back. My to-do list consisted of like learning the lyrics to the Ghetto Twins' Responsibility. Like that was, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I spelled Splackavelli right. Like that was my to-do list. That is not my to-do list now. Now I'm up until 3:00 in the morning crying inside because I want to go to bed.
And I can't because I have things to do and bills to pay.
I will tell you this, sis, with the mosquitoes, because Noah is, I don't know if she's allergic or if it really is like these X-Men mosquitoes, but they are biting her, like she'll have like 4 on her forehead. She'll have 1 on her ear, 2 behind her ears. It'll be on her neck, her toes, her fingers. Like she's getting bit everywhere. So I made a mosquito repellent, all natural mosquito repellent.
Of course you did.
For every ounce of water, guys, use distilled water. For every ounce of water, use 5 drops of tea tree oil, 5 drops of lavender oil, and 5 drops of peppermint oil. Shake it up, put it in a spray bottle, and use that to guard against mosquitoes. It works, and it's all natural, and it's good. And tea tree oil is good for treating mosquito bites.
Thank you, Trap Martha Stewart.
Hey. Thank you for listening to another episode of Getting Grown. Listening to us ramble and rant because we are exhausted.
Oh man, it's bad.
We appreciate you all immensely. Your support every week. The show is growing, and we really, really, really are super humbled by it and super grateful, super gracious. So continue to listen, continue to spread the word, continue to email if you have Kitchen Table Talk suggestions, things you want to talk about, things you want us to talk about at the kitchen table. Make sure you send that to gettinggrownpodcast@gmail.com. Sis, do you have any announcements?
I don't. I will say though, thank you to everyone who has sent us emails. We get a whole bunch of them, and while we may not be able to read everyone on the air or respond to each one individually, we really do try to craft the discussions, whether it be Kitchen Table Talk, or any segment, to kind of meet the needs of the things that you guys are talking about in your emails. We are trying to get to those honesty box questions, and we are collecting all of your petty peeves for our petty parade, which we are working on putting together for you really soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and keeping it locked into Getting Grown every Tuesday. Shout out to our producer Asante. We love you.
Love you.
And yeah. What about your friends? I love all my friends. Listen, friends, if I fail to say your name, I can see the people who are going to be like, you ain't mentioned me. You know that I love you down.
Friends, you know who you are.
Right?
What's understood doesn't have to be explained.
That sounds so like...
That's one of them Instagram quotes where they be looking at the ground.
Shut up. That's one of the things that your situationship will say to you when he don't want to claim you in the street. Ugh.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, he doesn't want to post you on his Instagram, so he says that to you. It's understood doesn't have to be explained. And you're like, yeah, you're right.
The more you know. All right.
So yeah, make sure
you're
using your jojoba oil, tone your skin, drink your water.
Yeah. Moisturize your situation because your black will definitely crack if it's dry. Good night, y'all. Well, good day. Well, y'all whenever you listen to it. Bye.
Good night.